I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
All right, people, write something on the board. Let's spell it. First letter.
L O G.
What's that? What?
It's time. It's time to have real, honest, open, difficult, and inspiring conversations. It's time for Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family. Hello and welcome. Welcome to Love and Life with Carol Riddick, right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. You hear me, I'm already on 10, but family, for those of you who know and are familiar, you know that I am usually on 10. And it's all right. It's all right. You know that it is. It is. It is. Today is Thursday, February 8th. Do you believe it? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. We're already in February. I'm still saying Happy New Year to folks. I know I need help, but guess what? It's all right. It's all right. I'm still coming into this new year slowly, but surely. How about that? Well, family, I'm ready to have some fun with you today. Some fun. Yes, I am. I want to send a happy birthday to all of our love bugs that are celebrating today. Yes, indeed. You know that I am sending you love beyond measure for your birthdays. And I hope that you are being celebrated in a grand way. Okay. You know, I believe we should all be celebrated. We should all be spoiled absolutely rotten. Yes, we should. Yes, we should. I know you're saying, Carol, stop it. I will not. I will do no such thing. So, family, because today's episode has been pre-recorded, you know, I would usually suggest to you that you join us via socials. Well, guess what? You can still do so, because I'm going to check your messages. I want to see who was here, who was checking in, and I will respond to them because I anticipate comments upon comments. Okay, I sure do. But I will not ask you to do so in real time right now because, like I said, it's a pre-recorded episode. So you can't call us tonight. I'm sorry. And you already know. I've been telling you all week that I missed you because I was away from you last week. Well, tonight is no different. Okay. Tonight is no different. But for those of you that I will see in person, I'm glad because I get to, love up on you in person. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So I want to remind you about our singles event for those ages 40 and up. Yes, that's right. That's right. It will take place at the Bayou Lounge and Bar in West Philly, right there on Tuesday, February 13th. Next week. So that's coming. That's coming. I'm so happy to say that you are showing up and you're showing out as far as registration is concerned. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. When I tell you we cannot wait to see you, to love up on you in person, I can't tell you and have you understand and know just what I'm saying. Okay. I just can't. I can't. But we are so looking forward to it. For those of you who are not familiar, this event, okay, it is going to be fun filled. It will feature fun activities where you can meet new people. Yes, indeed. And, you can possibly make a love connection. What? Yes, that's what I said. So if you did not hear me say it already, the event is for mixing and mingling, for singles, open quote, close quote, singles, okay, those who are available and ready to mingle and mix, ages 40 and up. And it's taking place on Tuesday, February 13th from 6 until 9 p.m. at the Bayou Lounge and Bar, located at 5025 Baltimore Avenue. Ooh, Dr. Marquita and I, we can't wait. You hear me? I know. Like I said, I'm usually on 10. Well, tonight I'm on 1,000. Okay, because I'm anticipating this event. This is the last day of the week that I get to talk with you about it and share with you about it. So, that's what I've got. That's what I've got. I do want to continue our Black History Month celebration. Yes, I do. I am. And to that point, today's Black History moment is about Frederick Douglass. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. According to the National Parks Conservation Association. Do you hear me? Conversation. Shut up, y'all. I renamed it. I will not do so. Let me get that right. The National Parks Conservation Association. According to the association, the legendary abolitionist Frederick Douglass was the most photographed American in the 1800s. And that wasn't by accident. No, that was strategic. The organization explains that Frederick Douglass purposely sat for photos as often as he could. He wanted to spread a more accurate image of African Americans at that time. He was also intent, and this is what I found most interesting. He was also intent about keeping a straight face in those photos, right? Because he shared that he wanted to challenge the idea that Black people were ever happy to be enslaved. Family, when I read that, when I tell you, that meant so much to me because I love when we are intentional and we are strategic about our actions. That's purpose right there. That is purpose. If I've ever seen it, heard of it, or read about it, that is purpose. And that meant so much. It means so much to me. Imagine in 2024, and I read that because I wasn't aware prior to. So you might say, I already knew that. Well, guess what? I didn't know. I didn't know. So I'm happy to share that with you. But just to know that he was intentional about that, about making the statement that Black folks, Black people were never, ever content, happy, or even accepting of being enslaved. Okay. So you put that in your pocket. Put that in your pocket. And guess what? Did you know he lived to be 77 years old? What? That in and of itself. I'm telling you, I have so much excitement about reading our history. I mean, I read it enough. Well, no, not enough. That's not true. That's not a true statement. But I read it. But I'm always, always excited, and it makes me feel good when I learn more and more about us. I tell you all the time that I love us. I love us. You hear me? And I love you to that point. God loves you, but so do I. So, family, guess what? We have so much tonight. So much tonight. So much tonight. So, let's get started. Family, I've been talking about this upcoming event that we have taking place on Tuesday, February the 13th. Yes, yes, yes. I have a co-host. If you did not pick that up when I said it or in the advertisements, yes, well, guess what? And she is fabulous. She's amazing. I love her. She's one of our love bugs. She's already family. Okay. I know. You're going to say, what? Oh, I love her too. Yes. My co-host for the Love and Life Connection event is none other than Dr. Marquita Williams, who is a psychologist with a long history working in the area of love and relationships. Family, I invite you to the conversation with Dr. Marquita. Ooh. Hey there, beautiful.
How are you?
I will not complain. You hear me? I will. And you've talked to me over the course of this week. So life is lifing at full speed.
Yes.
As it is for you as well.
All of us. Yes.
What?
But we holding on. We holding on.
Riding the wave, as my mother was saying, hoping it doesn't toss me off.
Listen.
That's what is happening right here. But you know what? In it, I'm just happy to be able. How about that?
Yes.
At
No.
the core of it all, no
Yeah.
matter what's going on, I'm happy to be able, and I'm happy to sit here and talk with you.
I'm
Um,
happy to be here talking to you. I'm
Marquita,
so
let me.
excited.
I was about to say, I am so excited about this event. So, first of all, this is a first for Love
Mhm.
and Life. It is a first in person event. That's the first thing. So, I'm beyond excited for that because our family knows. The family, y'all know, I'm very transparent. I tell you half of my business. I won't say all, but I tell you half of my business. And you know that I'm just itching to see you in person. And then
Nice.
Nasir, we crossed paths in Atlantic City. We were like, hi, hey, 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 but we didn't really get to hang. So now I get to actually hang with y'all and talk with you in person. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's at a singles event.
Come
It
on.
doesn't get any better than
Come
this.
on. And I get to meet everybody as well.
I'm saying, well, see,
Come
okay,
on.
so you know what? I'm so excited because I feel like family already knows you and they don't really, really know you, but
Hmm.
they're going to get to know you. And I feel like, they're already like, oh, Dr. Marquita,
Oh,
but
yes,
they may
girl.
not know. They may
Yes,
not know, but
yes.
they're going to know.
They going to know what they said and understand it better by and by.
Ooh, by and by. So, Dr. Marquita, would you please, if you don't mind, would you please, for our family members who are unfamiliar or unaware, would you please tell them a little more about you?
Yes, I would be happy to.
Mhm.
As was said, I'm Dr. Marquita Williams. A lot of people just call me Dr. Marquita. I wear a lot of hats.
Mhm.
But for our purposes here today, I can tell you that I have had a long, as you said, history working in love and relationships. I taught marriage and family at Temple as an adjunct professor, graduate students, therapists who wanted to be marriage and family therapists for several years. And I had two practices that focused on couples and relationships. One was a couples and relationship practice that I had downtown some years ago. And the other one was a practice that specialized on intimacy, we will say, and couples. And I did that for a long time. I've done some matchmaking. I do some
What?
love coaching. I've ran online dating classes, telling people what sites to go to, what sites to stay away from, what's important, what's not important. So I love love. I come from a family with a beautiful love story. Parents married 63 years. So it's in my
What?
bones. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay,
All things.
we want to know all about that too. Okay, let's wait, family. You hear her? She dropped all of these gems. You saw me. You saw me looking down because I started taking notes. I said, okay, so we've got to go back to that. We've got to go back to that. Like, and I have a little sheet here of things that I already wanted to discuss, but now that she just dropped these little pearls out here, I said, okay, well, let's talk about that.
Yes, yes, yes.
Wow. So you were actually teaching future therapists. You were
Yes,
what okay,
yes.
what was that like?
There's something I think just beautiful for me and gratifying to work with people who also are invested in helping folks find healthy relationships.
Okay.
And so I was teaching master's level students. So, they were committed to, this is where I want to be with my profession. And it was just a really, really great time, outside of the theory, talking about practical cases and what clients maybe that I had seen years ago, just talking to them about family histories and how that plays in your current relationships, and then the students really talking about sort of their personal lives and how they wanted to make sure that they were having healthy relationships so they could help other people have healthy relationships. I loved it. It was just a really great
Wow.
time. I loved it. Physician, heal thyself
Mm,
so that you can be available to others. So I
how about
really I
that?
enjoyed it.
That sounds interesting to me. It sounds so now, no family. I have no interest in being or pursuing a career in
You
therapy
don't
or
want to be
anything
a
like that.
marriage and family
Mm,
therapist?
mm, mm, mm,
I bet
mm,
you
mm,
would be
mm.
amazing.
I don't. Well, thank you for that, but I don't know. I don't think so. I don't
You're
think so.
very
I'm so.
insightful and
Thank you.
soothing and
Thank
thoughtful.
you.
The questions you ask are very thought provoking. So listen, you're halfway there.
But I'm so emotional. I am an emotional
But
being.
that's not a bad thing.
Oh,
I'm emotional. I'm excitable. I'm passionate. I'm
see,
enthusiastic.
I'm
All of
very
that.
passionate. I am. Okay. Well, see, and that's exactly why. That's exactly why we were paired to
Yes.
host this event. Oh my goodness. So you know what? To that point, what about this event is of interest to you as it pertains to being a co-host? What said?
Um,
What spoke to you and said, you know what? Why not?
you know what? God spoke to me some
Hello,
years ago. Yes.
hello.
Some years ago, I started a brand I call Back to Love. And
Back
I
to.
was just very, very concerned looking at our relationship landscape, particularly in the Black community and what was happening, between us and what I felt like was the breakdown of our communication and our connection and the increase in social media and,
Mm-hmm.
people looking to social media and what they were seeing outside of our community to tell them
Mm-hmm.
what should happen inside of their household. And I said, no, 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 we got to get back to love. We got to reconnect. We have to
Yeah.
try to find some safety and some security with one another so we can build our families. And, that's when I was doing some of the practice work and some of the
Mm.
panels and speaking. And then life took a detour, a great detour. I started working, with the city of Philadelphia, and I couldn't do all the professoring and the practicing and the
Mm-hmm.
citying. And so I stopped doing some of that. But I find now, my life is stable. Things are balancing out, and
Mm-hmm.
there's an opportunity for me to do more of what I love. And this is working with people to have better relationships with ourselves and better relationships with others. And so when this came up, I said, "Come on, Jesus, you're right in my head. This is where I need to fit.
Listen, doesn't he know?
This is it.
Doesn't he
Yes,
know
this
what?
is it.
So,
Yes."
so would you ever consider restarting or rebranding Back to Love?
Absolutely, absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. I think things happen in their time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it was,
Oh,
just
yes.
like a test for me to get some things out, feel how that felt, work in that space. And when the time comes around again and and my life rises up to meet that time, I'm
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
absolutely all about rebranding it. And I think the time might be right now.
Ooh, I like the way that sounds. I like the way that sounds. Family, hey there. I am talking to each and every one of you. If you have just joined us, welcome. Welcome. You are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. We are talking with none other than Dr. Marquita. Dr. Marquita Williams, that is, who is my co host for our upcoming Love and Life Connection event. Now, listen, I know we're going to see you all there, so I don't even have to say anything about that. I'm already sure. I'm sure we're going to see you there. But we thought we would get together tonight to talk with you since we are co hosting and talk about life, talk about love, and break down some things within Dr. Marquita's profession because she wears so many hats.
Oh,
So, we thought, well, why not have you meet her ahead of time? So you'll
yeah.
be a little more familiar by the time you
Yes.
see her in person. And why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Why not? Dr. Marquita, I'm thinking now with the Back to Love brand.
Hmm.
Now I was asking if you were thinking of restarting it because I think this would just be so awesome if we would have our little Back to Love conversations. We could continue.
We could
Uh, uh,
continue.
we could continue a little Back to Love segment.
Okay, now
We
come
could.
on.
Listen, it's just popping right now. Right now, I'm thinking like we could do this. Family. Now, listen, this is what I am going to ask. I'm going to ask if, in fact, you think that would be a good idea if we have like a connection every
Yes.
now and again. Like we have some family members that
Hmm.
reach out, especially because I'm anticipating that not everybody will be connected on
Yeah.
Tuesday's event.
Yes.
How about we keep this going? How
Yes.
about we build our community? How about we
Hmm.
build on some relationships? And you've got
Hmm.
Dr. Marquita. I mean, what? I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I
You might
think
say,
that's a
Carol,
great idea.
see what
Yes,
I'm saying? I don't want you to say,
absolutely.
Carol, you put me on the spot, but I think that sounds like a good
No, I'm
idea.
listen, I am ready and willing and certainly able. So
Do
let's
you?
do it.
Ooh, don't you threaten me with a good time. What?
And now That's what it is. It's a really good time. Especially, being here with you is always a good time. So
I love this. So that's what we're going to do. So family, you heard it. You heard it. You heard me say it. You heard Dr. Marquita confirm it. So what we're going to do, we're going to meet periodically after this so we can keep this going and we can continue to build on our community. We can build our relationships. Listen.
I love the idea of creating our own love community.
Yes. Are you kidding? Because, you know what? It's time for us to take just a short commercial break. But when we come back, family, I'm going to share with you a part of a conversation that Dr. Marquita and I had just earlier today, as a matter of fact, when I was talking with her about my beliefs as it pertains to relationships. And we were talking about that building on community. Yes. Weren't we? We were talking about that. We were just talking about that today. So family, stay with us. Stay with us. Okay. Because you already know we are coming right back.
You're listening to Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, bringing joy and power to the people for 20 years.
Imagine you on a deserted island all by yourself, or even being in a crowd of people yet still feeling alone. That's what being a victim of sexual assault can feel like. Victims of sexual assault are at an increased risk for developing depression, PTSD, substance abuse, eating disorders, and anxiety. Sexual assault can happen to anyone and is any unwanted sexual contact such as unwanted touching, fondling, groping, or even rape. No always means no, so speak up and speak out. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
I'll never forget the day I nearly died. I was a young journalist with a great career, starting a family. The only way we found out I had any kind of heart issue was when I went into sudden death. My coworkers sprung into action. They've recently been trained in life-saving CPR protocols developed by the American Heart Association. They're the ones that kept me alive until the medics came. They did many tests on me in the hospital after my cardiac arrest and created a treatment plan, all with research from the American Heart Association. I think unless you are a heart disease patient, you may not know how much work the American Heart Association does behind the scenes to save your life. Since my cardiac arrest, I've had 2 more children. I've watched all 3 of my children grow into adulthood. I'm going to cry now. Graduate from college. My daughter got married. I have grandchildren. And I'm still here.
Learn more about the American Heart Association's work at helpheart.org.
Everyone loves a champion, someone whose performance puts them head and shoulders above the rest. But not all champions wear a medal or hoist a trophy. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, we see champions everywhere we look. In every sport, on every court, we're building a foundation to ensure all athletes are safe, supported, and strengthened. We believe abuse can be prevented by taking a hard look at how we coach, how we train, and how we interact after the last whistle. We have provided over 2 million safe sport trainings. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, ending abuse is not just our job. It's our promise.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. finder.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Celebrating 20 years of progressive Black talk media, we're bringing joy and power to the people. This is WURD 96.1 FM and 900 AM Philadelphia. Streaming online at wordradio.com and the Word Radio app. You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. Welcome back this time. How about that? You are tuned in. You are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. Today is Thursday, February 8th. Oh, I have to keep saying it because I don't believe that we're in February already. That's why I keep saying it. But we are joined tonight with Dr. Marquita Williams. That is the one and only. Yes. Wait. Wait. Get some hand claps.
Yes, right.
There we go. Wait, Nick and Niall, they'll be happy with me. You know, I finally found some hand claps. So I kept saying I got to work on how it sounds. All right. But in any event, family, Dr. Marquita is my co-host for our upcoming event. Yes, on February 13th, the event at which I know we will see all of you. I already know that. But we thought it would be a great idea for us to get together tonight to talk with you and to share with you and for you to meet Dr. Marquita in advance.
Yes.
You know, we thought that would be a good idea. So prior to the commercial break, we were talking and I was sharing with you that Dr. Marquita and I had a conversation just earlier today, and we were talking about building our community. And I was sharing with Dr. Marquita just my own personal feelings about us, about how much I love us, and how I believe we are so magical when we're together. You know, quite honestly, I believe the world sees it too. The world knows it too. But I believe we are so magical together. But I also believe that we don't know who we are to one another. The Black man and the Black woman, we no longer know who we are to one another. And that's my own personal belief, family. Again, I'm expecting to read the comments. So I know you will comment, but that's my own personal belief. But it is my hope. It is my hope, and it's constantly my prayer that we find each other again. You know, that we find each other again. And to that point, Dr. Marquita, you were sharing about your parents. You said, and I had to write it down, 63 years that they were married.
Yes. 63 years when my father passed away. They had been married. And it was just a beautiful relationship that I got to see growing up. Everything, you know, the partnership, the collaborations, the ups, the downs, you know, how do you navigate conflict? You know, how do you celebrate wins together? How do you, you know, come together when you have different ideas about, you know, how things should go? I remember my dad wanted to move us way out into the suburbs because he was, you know, feeling good about it. Like, you know, I'm doing well. And he worked for the city. So, you know, he was like,
nice.
well, like, you know, I'm doing my thing. And he also worked for SEPTA for a time. So he wanted to move us way out. And my mom was like, no, I want these kids to live here in the city. I want them to have urban sensibilities. You know, I want them to really sort of grow up and have the fullness of the experience. And so the compromise became, we stayed living, you know, in the city, but we went to private schools. So
nice.
like understanding compromise and, you know, just how to work it out and to be in love and be partners. You know, I wouldn't take anything for it. 63.
I love that. So And I will share this. So the night before last, we had a guest on, and the night prior to that. So this week we've had a consistent theme of love and talking about how to navigate and how to maintain these relationships, because we had one of our beloveds, another one of our family members who's a therapist, and she was talking about communication being key. And then the following night, we had a new family member who was talking also about communication being key. But the one thing I know, we mentioned it, but it wasn't we did not repeat it, and it's about compromise.
Yes.
It's about compromise, communication and compromise.
Yes.
And I'm listening to you share this story about your parents, and and it's about being patient with one another. It's about acceptance, but we also talked about love languages too. We also talked about understanding your partner's love. First of all, identifying your own.
Yes.
And then understanding your partner's love language.
Yes. Anybody that I think I'm going to date, because I'm single, I send them the quiz so that they can get connected to what it is that is their love language.
What is the quiz?
The love language quiz.
Wait, what is the love language quiz? Wait a minute, Dr. Marquita.
Yes.
We all need the love language quiz.
There is
well, those of us who are single, well, no, everybody. If you don't know your love language, we need the love language quiz.
Yeah, you do. You need to take the quiz, and it helps you to identify the primary ways in which you respond to being loved. Because typically, we love people from our own lens. So I'm going to do all the things for you that I want done for me, but that might not be the way that you want to be loved, that you understand love, that you receive love. So I send it to them, because I don't want to be wasting my time doing this over here, and you don't like none of that. And I don't want you to
doing the same thing.
Time wasting, right?
So can we know, where do we find the love language quiz?
So if you type in love language quiz, it'll pop right up. There's a link. Make sure it's the Gary Oldman, I believe it is, who wrote the book, and it's the quiz. It takes maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes.
Wait, the actor Gary Oldman?
No,
okay.
No, the author.
Okay. Well, he could be an actor and author, but
he could be, but it's not the same guy.
Not the same.
It's not the same guy.
Wait, Dr. Marquita said no, Carol.
Oh,
no.
Gary Chapman, child. Gary.
Wait. Okay, because we just talked about him 2 nights ago. Gary Chapman said that.
Gary Chapman, yes. But yes, I just typed in love language quiz, and it came right up.
Wait, that is hilarious. She said, "Oh, wait.
That ain't it." And it looks like it's the 5lovelanguages.com. The number 5 lovelanguages.com. So
we just
type it in.
Dr. Marquita, when I tell you 2 nights ago, on Tuesday night, we just talked about this. We talked about Gary Chapman.
Okay.
We sure did. We mentioned, I should say, Gary Chapman, and we talked about the 5 love languages. So this family, did you hear that? I want to make sure the love language quiz, not right?
Yeah. 5lovelanguages.com, and it's the love languages quiz.
See that? You hear that? 5lovelanguages.com. Yeah. I'm writing it down. I'm writing it down. That's what I'm doing. I'm writing it down.
And so you have to know. Do people know what they are? I think it's words of affirmation, physical touch, quality time, acts of service, and gifts. And so you got to know where you fall in there.
Wait, so you know what? I'm going to tell you this, because I did not share this, but since you are a therapist, I'm going to share this with you. It has always been a curiosity of me. Do you hear me? Of mine. Because I've always said, okay, well, I think I've not taken the quiz. Let me be clear, family. I've not taken the quiz, but I think that I identify with 2. That 2 are my love languages. But how about all 5? Can you have all 5?
So what it does is it tells you where you fall on all 5. And I will say, at words of affirmation, quality time, and physical touch, my numbers are just within a 1 number range. So maybe 30, 31, and 32, and then some of the other ones drop. But depends on what you need when you need it. So you have all 5. They may be in just different orders.
Oh, family, did you hear this? Did you hear this? So now, okay, now that we're talking about this, family, you know what I'm going to ask you to do. You know what I'm going to ask you. Those of you, just for, listen, just for the fun of it, just for entertainment purposes, you know, would you please take the love language quiz,
Yes.
please? And let's talk about it. I want to
Yeah.
do that with
Yeah.
Dr. Marquita. Of course, will you come back and talk with us
I
about it?
absolutely will. And you
I
know
love
what's
that.
interesting about taking the quiz? Looking at where you score and finding out if it's where you actually thought you would score.
See, now see that okay, because that right now is my curiosity.
Yeah.
Because I like I said, I believe I know, but
Mhm.
I'm going to take the quiz to see if that's
Mhm.
accurate.
Mhm. And one
Look,
thing that surprised me was acts of service.
acts
And
of
it was
service.
still, sort of in the lineup as high, but I thought it
Mhm.
would have been higher because I love, when you open the door or open the bottle or bring me something I need or change a tire, like I'm all about an act of service. But
An act of service. I like that. I like be
Mhm.
clear though, act of service.
Yes, 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 yes.
Carol, I'm being bad. I really am. I really am, family, and I know they're saying, "Wait a minute, not you." I'm being bad. I know I am. I family. Let me bring it full circle. For those of you who have just joined us, welcome, welcome, welcome. You are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. We are talking with Dr. Marquita in this hour. We're talking with Dr. Marquita Williams. To be exact, we are co-hosting the Love and Life Connection event on February 13th. Now, I know I keep jokingly saying it, but I mean it. I want to see all of you out there, and I'm so hopeful and prayerful that I will, that we will get to hang with you on February 13th at the event. And, again, I've shared that I'm so excited because it is Love and Life's first in person event, so I'm excited about it, family. Now, I'm excited on every day, but this is like, some extra. I've got some extra on top of my excitement tonight.
Yes,
I've
I
got
am
some
as
extra.
well.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
You
So,
know
oh,
why as well? February 13th is my birthday. So we're going to be
shut up and
celebrating
keep talking.
everything. Yes.
What? Okay. Wait, what kind of, do you like cake?
I do like
You
cake.
do? What kind of cake do you like? What do you like? What
I
do you
like
like?
all kind of cake.
I'm like,
I like red velvet cake. I like chocolate cake. I like vanilla
mm,
cake. Yes.
mm. Okay,
Yes.
family, you know what that means. We're going to have to celebrate Dr. Marquita's birthday. I think it's a given. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I think that's what's happening here. I don't know about
Love it.
you, but like you heard me say, I believe we should all be celebrated. We should all be spoiled, absolutely rotten.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I think a cake, maybe cupcakes or a cake. I don't know.
Yes,
Which
yes, cupcakes are great.
cupcakes?
I'm just happy to be spending my birthday with all of you. So it's really going to be a fun night.
Oh, thank you for that. No,
Yeah.
seriously, thank you. Because you could have said, no, that's not a good day. It's not
Mm-hmm.
a good night because it's about me.
Yes.
So thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you for being selfless
Yes.
and agreeing to spend your time, your energy, your attention, your spirit, your gifts, and your expertise with us. Oh, family. Look,
Beautiful.
ain't nothing but a love fest, I'm telling you. So listen, family. Okay, we're about to go to commercial in just a few moments. But before we do, I want to let you know that we have one of the contestants that will be joining us in conversation tonight. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I know I'm so excited about this. So excited. Now, I'm going to tell you now, you will not see a face, you will not see a visual at all, but you will hear a voice. Yes, you will. You will hear a voice, and we're going to converse about a few different things. How about that? I can't tell you too much, We're going, I don't want you to say, oh, 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 oh. I know you're mad at me because you're saying, why was this pre recorded? Well, that's just so that you come out on Tuesday. That's why. That's exactly why. So you come out and you hang out with us on Tuesday. That's exactly why. But really though, just being open about it all, I couldn't be more excited. I couldn't be more happy, and I couldn't look for more forward to our upcoming event. I really couldn't. Or the conversation that will take place when we come back from our commercial break. Dr. Marquita, I know there's so many things that we didn't touch upon, but you know what? It may be a good idea to do so when we have this next conversation with our cat. We didn't talk about intimacy. We didn't talk about online dating. We didn't talk about any of those things.
Yes,
I think
we
a
have so much to talk about, so we have to, open it up and continue. I think this is the beginning of a beautiful relationship.
Oh, so do I. Family, you hear that? You hear that? So stay with us because we are coming right back.
You're listening to Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, bringing joy and power to the people for 20 years.
Part-time job, full-time hustle, all-time Shiro to all of us. It's time for you, our Shiro, to stretch for the stars. A free online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Jason, let's go see your room.
What do you think? We kept it a little spare, so you can decorate it how you like.
Dinner!
No? Excellent. Yeah, I saw you guys out there. We're the family. I thought you were on my team.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org.
You quit smoking and thought, that's that. But here's the thing about lung cancer. By the time you see the symptoms, it could be too late. But now, there's a new scan that can detect lung cancer early, when it's more curable. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Hey, boss. Okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
You sure?
I said I'm fine.
Since I was little, it was only like me and my parents. You think you created family out of characters? Yeah, of course. I'm gonna take that, make it into a song.
Me the babe, see you in the morning with the frosties. Superman, but it wasn't on it, and we lost these. In my head, in my head, in my head. Where you at? Where you at? On the way out. In my head, in my head, in my head.
Hey, son.
Hey, Pop.
You can talk to me.
It's been really, really hard for me.
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love is.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. We are talking tonight with Dr. Marquita Williams, who is my co host for our upcoming event. When I tell you, I am beyond excited. Number one, to have her here, but two, to have her as the co-host, and number three, to have an in-person event. So
Yes.
I'm
We
bursting tonight.
died.
Okay. Okay. So before the commercial break, we were sharing that we have so much to cover, so much to cover. And you know me, you got to reel me in sometimes because I get carried away. I get so excited and I get carried away. So we have one of the participants. Okay. One of the participants in the event who is joining us, audio only. I did share audio only, no visual, but I'm so excited to invite this participant to the conversation. Dr. Marquita, would you like to say anything?
I am excited as well. This is somebody that I am familiar with, and I know he will have great insights for us as we discuss all matters of love and relationships. So come on, let's have the conversation.
Ooh, well, welcome. Well, I'm going to refer to you as participant so that we make sure we do not mention your name. I want to be specific in that area, in that regard, I should say. So welcome to the conversation.
Hello, how are you? Can you hear me?
We can hear you well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Just first of all, just thank you. Thank you for agreeing to join us in this conversation, to participate.
Yes, thank you. Honestly, this is a topic that I hold near and dear, and because I'm in the helping profession, I'm an advocate for more discussion around this topic. And Dr. Williams mentioned insight. I would just add to her word insight pressure here, uh, because she's truly gifted at what she's trying to do with our community, and that is to bring us to a healing dialogue and understanding of one another.
Mm, I so love that. I so appreciate that. And I've been thanking Dr. Marquita, and thank you for reiterating that because I too have said to her, I'm so grateful that you are doing that. That is a part of her journey, that it is a part of her journey. So,
Thank you both.
now, as it pertains to participating in this event, I'm curious to know, participant, if you will, willing participant, what about this event is of interest to you?
Well, I think that anytime there's dialogue around relationships, it can, we've seen these conversations informally, they can go left or they can go right, but there's always passionate discussion around this topic and belief systems. And I think we're just really, looking at ways where we can improve the communication,
Sure.
And I think every time I've had this discussion, it's been a passionate discussion, but people are really trying to find places and spaces where they can feel safe to exchange without all of the passion that sometimes gets in the way of the understanding.
Mm-hmm. Agreed wholeheartedly. Now, I have the understanding that both you and Dr. Marquita are familiar. You've had conversations
Yeah.
about, so please do share with us. 'Cause I don't want to do all the talking. So please, Dr. Marquita, share with us, and participant, share with us.
About our conversations.
Yes.
We have conversations all the time. And just recently, we were having a conversation about the availability of Black men for Black
Mm-hmm.
women. I know a lot of single, successful, beautiful, funny, warm, smart African American women who are and am I getting some feedback now?
Yes, just for a moment we did, but I think we're okay.
Okay. And I said to the participant, where are the brothers? What is going on with the brothers? And
Mm-hmm.
he had some really interesting insights that I will let him share.
Well, this is funny because I said to Dr. Williams, I said, well, the brothers have sort of said, I'm good. I've stepped away. It's too much going on in the dating world today. I mean, I've heard the gamut of it. But when I also hear that, I hear, underneath that, just the sometimes the fear of rejection, sometimes hurt, and disappointment, and then sometimes the unknown. And that is, there's a lot of dialogue on a variety of social media streams where there's, just this expectation now that men are feeling like they have not had a voice, but with COVID, it kind of sent men into themselves, where they started thinking about their worth and value to themselves and what they bring to relationships. And sometimes I think these men have felt like, with that catastrophic event, they had to self-evaluate what they bring to the table and how much they have been contributing to relationships. And I think there's a general sense that there's been belief that their contributions have not been validated or at least given the attention, respect that these men feel they deserve.
Sure. I'm curious to know, you shared that in your conversations. It's been shared with you. These gentlemen are saying, well, we're done. That's it. So what are they doing? What are they not dating at all? Are they just content, or trying to become content with being single, or are they just out here in these streets? Like, what?
Here we go, Carol. You about to open up a can.
You're about to make this conversation passionate, like I told you.
Well, bring it. That's what love and life is about.
Well, I certainly won't speak for all men. I've been in Philly for 30 years. I'm a transplant from the Midwest, so I come here, with a background, pretty much. I'm a country boy with a value system, and not that the men that I talk to don't. These men come from all walks of life: firefighters, police officers, social workers, teachers, engineers, investment bankers. These men run the gamut of profession. What I think I hear them talking and actually doing is, some of them have decided that their peace is more valuable to them than a relationship, the things that they've been experiencing in a relationship. So they've been willing to walk alone.
I'm sorry. I did not mean to interject. I thought you were finished.
And some have decided that, that they're going to be celibate, and that they're going to go on a spiritual journey within to find some of the areas where they believe they need to improve and heal. And that has become more important than being in a relationship. Some have confided in me and said that they were just on autopilot, going from one relationship to the next, and they're stepping back to look at patterns and their behaviors and their choices, and how some of their girlfriends looked the same with different faces.
Oh wow.
Right.
Wow.
So, and that's more, if we get into his particular thing, what men are doing is they're part of their value is to find out where they've been hurt. And that's a huge step forward for men. So, when you're in that stage, you do have to step off the scene.
Sure.
And deal with that work. And then some old brothers have just decided, hey, I'm gonna get a passport and get up out of here. And they're going, overseas and having completely different experiences around how women are interacting with them.
Sure.
And so when they come back here, you could see that brother probably is in a zone where he's just into himself, because he knows he's not having that experience here.
Right. The expectation is different. His horizons have been broadened. I understand that. I want to address a few things that you said, but in this moment, we're going to prepare to go to commercial. Family, welcome. If you have just joined us, you are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. We are talking in tonight's episode, actually, I should say, because not even in this hour. Tonight is about love and life and everything in between and under both umbrellas. We're talking with Dr. Marquita Williams, who is my co-host for our upcoming event. Yeah. And in this moment, we are talking with one of the participants. So I know you don't want to miss any of this. So because of that, we're going to commercial break, but I'm going to say stay with us because we are coming right back.
Did you know that because of membership support, Word is able to bring you special programming that impacts our community? Shows like Islam Today and Caribbean Connections, coverage of Philadelphia's mayoral election, and interviews with community leaders and newsmakers. All of this is possible through your membership support. If you're not already a member, consider joining the Forward movement, or even give the gift of membership to family and friends. Sign up or renew online at wordradio.com/membership to subscribe at the sustaining level of $90 annually or the digital level of $5 monthly. You can even give us a call at 215-425-7875. Press 4 for assistance. Stand with Word today.
I'll be here to hear what's on your mind. Take this time to talk and get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side. By your side. And every day is a different day. Everything is in everything. Even when you think things could never ever be the same. Don't be scared of the world, I'll be here to stay. By your side. Even when your heart ain't listening, or your mind takes you a different way, towards a different path. All you gotta do is sit and ask. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
When the adults in a child's life talk early and often about the dangers of underage drinking, the message gets stronger every time.
I'll be by your side.
Talk. They hear you.
When I cross the finish line, it's not just me. I succeed because of others. When I was pregnant, I survived because of others. At 32 weeks, I was diagnosed with preeclampsia and had an emergency C-section. Because my doctor took quick action and my husband was there to help me, I'm alive. Too many women die of pregnancy-related complications, and most are preventable. If you or someone you know is pregnant or recently had a baby, learn the warning signs. It could help save her life. Hear her.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
This is your celebration.
Hey, this is David W. Brown, former general manager of WURD. I'm proud to say, and Temple University want to wish WURD a happy 20th anniversary.
I'm Delilah Wilson-Scott with Comcast, and I want to wish Word a happy 20th anniversary. Thank you for celebrating 20 years of Black excellence, Black culture, Black legacy, and providing a forum so we can discuss the issues that we care about.
I'm Dylan Lewis from Word Radio, and I want to wish Word a happy 20th anniversary.
Hi, I'm Ken Anderson from the Chamber of Commerce for Greater Philadelphia, and I just want to wish WURD a happy 20th anniversary. Thank you for all that you do in this community. You are one of the anchors that make us who we are, and that is the best. So I'm wishing you happy 20th and many, many more.
We're celebrating 20 years of progressive Black Talk Media.
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. That success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. Welcome to the top of the second hour of Love and Life with Carol Riddick, right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. We are talking, if you are not aware, we are talking with Dr. Marquita Williams, who is my co-host, okay, for our upcoming Love and Life Connection event. And guess what? We have one of the participants in our conversation tonight. I'm so excited about that. So before the commercial break, we were talking, well, actually, our participant was sharing with us about some of the experiences that have been shared with him from friends and just in various conversations. And I shared that I wanted to address some of what he shared. You were sharing that you've been told that some of your friends said they've dated with the same person with a different face. Mm-hmm. That was the experience they were having. So what kind of experiences are they having that are first of all, now listen, there's a lot going on. If it costs
a lot, it's a lot going on.
Especially if you are going to another country to have different, But what is happening? What's happening with us?
Well, in relation to relating to each other.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that we're at a stage, and this is this happens in history, but there's a reflection point, right? Mm-hmm. We can look at outcomes and facts. So right now, you have men who a majority of men who do not believe in the institution of marriage anymore. Mm-hmm. That's now also sort of trickled down to relationships. And then there's, again, doing any kind of social media, you'll see that there's the term modern women who they define as women who got it going on, who got jobs, who work 40 plus hours a week and quote unquote independent. In some respects are bold enough to say they don't need a man. And then you have brothers who have internalized that. And again, these are generalities, right? So there's a whole lot going on that we can't account for. But these brothers who may have been rejected, who may have a history of not even having access to women, but are isolated. And there was recently a study out that indicated that increasingly men are more isolated and not in relationships, and not looking to build or resolve that gap. So there's a drift apart. So when you talk about quote unquote modern women and you talk about men who are now passport brothers, now you're talking about two extremes that are angry with each other a lot and not talking and then boasting that they don't need each other, and the reality is nothing further from the truth. Mm-hmm. We as a people, historically, if you go back to, the 40s, 50s, we had the highest marriage rate under the circumstances of which we are under in this country.
We did.
And now that is kind of flipped, but you have to look at foundational issues around culture, what's being fed to us in the media. And one thing that we do have in common is we have a common enemy as it relates to us coming together to unite. That's been over 400 years. And I think sometimes we underestimate the angles that are sent our way through our music, through the food, and this thing that we call, what's popular and culturally appropriate today for women to feel that they've had access to jobs and things, that they are, able to be independent. If you look at our foundation, our foundation as a culture has always been historically working together, uniting and working as a group. And if you look across the board at any other culture, that's just how they do it. And so your job and your credentials don't necessarily define you when you understand that the end goal is unity, legacy, and for our kids to have a better future than we have.
See, and what you said was so key when you have that understanding. And the challenging part for me now is that it appears that the majority of those who are in the dating pool don't have that understanding or are not accepting of that fact. I'm curious to know, and I'm asking this question of the two of you.
And I've got to jump in too.
Oh, please, Dr. Marquita,
This
please.
participant has given us so much. You started asking him about the people that were dating the same person with different faces, right? And you have to understand, and I believe this, that you are what you attract, right? And so if you are dating the same person, then the first reflection about that is with you, right? So what am I putting out? What is the energy that I'm giving? What, pain points that I haven't addressed that are showing up in the people that are drawn to me, right? I think that is really, really critical. And an examination of self is always important as you're on this road to being in a healthy relationship. I think, he's so right when we're talking about looking at the historical trajectory and what has happened to our families and our communities over time. Right. 40s and 50s, 60s, we had the highest rate, of marriage, but we also had more economic opportunities for Black men. Right. You didn't have to go, everybody wasn't going to college back then, right? You could learn a trade, you could, work in the factories. And then the 70s and 80s, those factories started closing.
Right.
We don't have as many trade program certifications anymore. So all of those brothers that weren't going to college, that didn't go to college, were juxtaposed against all of the females who were being pushed to college.
How about that?
So then you jump ahead 20 more years, all of these women got these degrees. And then the dominant culture says he or she who owns the bag writes the ticket.
And they're supposed to step up to the plate, and they ain't looking back.
Yep. So you fall prey to that. I got the bag. What's up?
I got the bag. I got the power.
Yeah.
So now that's where I was going with my question. How big a part and how detrimental do you feel that social media has been to our relationships and our relationship with one another?
Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. You can't live your life from a social media perspective. Unfortunately, though, we can't wait to grab the phone and swipe right and scroll, and everybody is taking these fake pictures and
goodness,
relationship goals, and then putting the phone down and having an argument and projecting all of these images, that are not real. The problem with that is, we've always had television. We always have had images projected upon us. If there is no reinforcement of our real values, cultural values, familial values at home, and in the conversations that we're having with one another, then that social media depiction is what overrides what is inherently us.
But you know what I don't understand? What is most challenging for me is how our demographic is so heavy, deep, and thick in it. I don't understand that. How and why?
Well, I would throw in there that, and there's some research on this specifically to us. We early on in social media, we we are heavy users of social media.
True.
Heavy.
True.
And we're heavy more on the social aspect more so than and it's just beginning to turn now with the advent of earning cash through various means. But we've been heavy on the social aspect and the gaming aspect of technology and social media. But the science behind of the social media technically is when people seek attention and validation as a form of their personality or to validate their behavior, then something happens with the brain. There's a chemical like it's a pleasure center. And it's like sugar. It's like, you have to have more of it. And eventually, what they're finding with kids is that the more they are exposed to gaming and technology, then they are increasing in poor attention span and short working memory. And that's just a cousin of ADHD. So, if you have an inattentive issue going on with your brain, then you're going to often need to have a TikTok where you have bursts of 30-second exposure to something where you can keep swiping with 30-second intervals, and you look up and 2 hours have passed by. So can you imagine if I'm on a date with someone and now we have to use social skills, we have to interact, and I have to carry a conversation, then that's where you're going to see a huge deficit where people cannot carry a conversation or have the ability to socially interact.
And I'm in full agreement with everything you just said. It is still so challenging for me because we're supposed to be good and grown. We are supposed to be at an age now where we have social skills, where we are able to communicate with one another. We should be able to communicate effectively. We should emphasis on should. But here we are. I see more of us. I see, of course, a lot of the younger demographic, but I see us. I see us naked, half naked. I see us on social media. What do you call it? What do they call it? Thirst trapping, if you will. Listen. Listen. I mean, to the point where I so rarely, like, I will go on to post what I have to post, and then I have to pop off because there's too much. There's just too much. But I do not understand how we got. I understand, the introduction of social media and us wanting attention, but we went overboard. We really did.
We have, but I think that as we have become more disappointed and disillusioned with one another and stop communicating with one another and no longer live in authenticity with one another, and there's no emotional safety with one another, you want that quick fix, like the participant is talking about. If I put a thirst trap on here today and I get 100 likes, well, then I'm gonna go a little bit more tomorrow because I want 100 more likes. Or I'm gonna post several times a day because I'm not getting that anywhere else. And nobody has to know that behind the scenes is chaos, that the emperor has no clothes.
My Lord.
All they see is what I'm posting, and I'm constantly getting fed that adoration and that attention that I'm seeking.
So disappointing. It is so disappointing. And I know we're just family. For those of you who are just joining us, let me share with you. Welcome. First of all, you are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. And we are talking about love, life, and everything in between. Particularly on tonight's episode, we are talking with Dr. Marquita Williams, who is my co-host for our upcoming event.
Woman extraordinaire.
Yeah, that's woo. I like it. So the event about which I speak will take place on February 13th. For those of you who are unaware, listen. I'm going to let you know. February 13th from 6 until 9 p.m. we will be at Bayou Lounge and Bar in West Philadelphia. That's located specifically at 5025 Baltimore Avenue. But tonight, we're just talking about a few things. We're talking about love. We're talking about life. We're talking with one of the participants in the event. And we're just drilling down about, dating and relationships and some things, just, that's what we do here at Love and Life. We talk about everything. And it's all with love. I will say that it's all in the spirit of love. So I want to I want to pivot for a moment and talk about online dating.
Mm.
Hell
Wait,
yeah.
that right there is she's like, mm.
Well, Carl, I must admit, I'm not, and never have I dated online. So I don't. I do have stories of my friends who have,
I'm
um,
sure.
and I have more female friends who have engaged in dating online and than males, and I mean, and they have stopped as a result
Mhm.
because it's just, I've heard them say they have literally believe online dating is for narcissists, and so
Wow.
they just say, I'm done with it, and they're trying to find venues where they can meet people in authentic settings. Um, and of course, it's just a different reality today. So I can't speak about the online dating as much, but I do know that, even male and female friends have told me that that's a no-brainer for them in terms of dating. But I do know some people have met people and found their soulmates. So
Mhm.
you can hit the lottery. You just got
Yeah, that's one heck of a lottery.
Online dating is like anything else. You have
Mm,
got to vet the people and the process. So I have online dated, and I've online dated a good amount, right? And I've connected people. I've was working with a woman, and I helped her go through profiles, and she was picking people that just clearly weren't online for searching for a real relationship. And I saw someone who had been trying to get her attention that she completely ignored because he wasn't her type. And I said, no, no, no. Look at this man. Look at what he wrote. You need to talk to him. Long story short, they've now been married for 10 years. So,
wow.
it can work if you know what you are looking for,
hmm
and you take the time. Online dating is time consuming, and there are a lot of sites, none of whom are advertising for our show, so I won't name them. But I
How
will
about that?
say that there's some general guidelines, right?
Mhm.
The same things that you would do if you met somebody in the Home Depot, you need to be doing if you meet somebody on the line, in the sense that you got to take your time. People come up with these fantastic profiles and they only show their great pictures, but you got to read through what people are saying, and you have to take the time to talk to them on that online space. I believe a lot of people, as soon as they click on you, they want to jump to a phone call, they want to jump to in life. If you can't send me 2 or 3 emails, then the context of this, like, is not going to work for us. If you're patient
Mhm.
and you want to vet me as much as I want to vet you to be able to move this to a real life situation, then that tells me that maybe this person, has some qualities that I need to look further into. So there's a lot of finesse to online dating,
Mhm.
but I think it's the same finesse out in the world.
You know, that oh, were you about to say
Well, I
something?
was just going to say, and then there's a high end group of high net worth individuals who don't go to the general websites, but they
Right.
actually hire dating coaches, or not coaches, but consultants to,
Mm-hmm.
they give a profile, and they know what they're looking for, and they pay for that high end service so that they don't have the time to do all of the what Dr. Williams mentioned. So they pay someone to put them in venues and spaces where they
Mm-hmm.
can meet a possible mate.
But here's the issue with that
I was
as
about to say,
well.
what are your thoughts about that?
The issue with this as well, because I've also, worked with some of these services, you can vet the people individually about what they want and their readiness and their qualifications. And it seems like these people would be great together on paper. And they may even meet, and, there's sparks and butterflies and, unicorns and rainbows that happen. But if those people haven't done the work to be prepared for what it is that they are seeking, they will implode. and destroy a potentially beautiful relationship.
How about that? You know, one thing to that point, one thing that our participant said that I just really thought was a good thing when you were talking about your friends who've dated and who have had unfavorable experiences. You said that they acknowledged and recognized, maybe I just need to step back, take some time, look at me, see what's going on with me, and you know, just like really dig deep into me first before I get back out there or even consider getting back out there. I think that's a great thing that we all need to do. Quite honestly, I think that's a wonderful thing, and it's a healthy place in which to be, because it's not always everybody else. Sometimes you do need to look at you and say, okay, what am I doing or what am I not doing? Family, hey there. I'm checking in once again to welcome you. If you have just joined us, you are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. We are talking tonight with Dr. Marquita Williams, my co-host for the event. That's right. We're going to have so much fun. You already hear that I'm on 1,000. Okay. You already know, but we're also joined with one of the participants in that event. Can y'all feel the excitement? I know you can. Even though this is a pre-recorded show, I know you feel my excitement. Okay. I know you do. But guess what? Right now, what we're going to do is take just a short commercial break, but you already know. Stay with us because we are coming right back.
Celebrating 20 years of progressive Black Talk Media, we're bringing joy and power to the people. This is WURD 96.1 FM and 900 AM Philadelphia. Streaming online at wordradio.com and the Word Radio app.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
I felt accomplished after I got my diploma. Made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She carried 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Email from school about the incident today.
Scary.
Tell me about it. Did you have any idea that was going on?
None. I mean, you saw Derek at the game last night too. Did you have a clue?
No, but you know, teachers like me, parents, we don't always know as much as you guys do. Kids hear first about what's going on with other kids.
Half the time, it's rumors.
It can be hard to tell sometimes, but if you're ever concerned about a friend who's having trouble with alcohol, prescription drugs, bullying, violence, anything, you need to tell an adult. Mom or me, a teacher, coach, school counselor, someone you know and trust.
Dad, No kid is gonna tell an adult about that kind of stuff.
I get it, but if we don't know, we can't help. Speaking up about a problem, that's what helping a friend is all about.
You're listening to Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, progressive Black Talk media, bringing joy and power to the people for 20 years. You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, progressive Black Talk media.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. And we're talking with Dr. Marquita Williams. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. She is my co-host for our upcoming event. And I feel like I've been talking so much, Dr. Marquita. You know what? I'm going to be quiet for a moment and you know, and give the reins to you.
Oh, my goodness. You know what? I did have something else to add from the conversation that we were just having about online dating and the difficulties. And I think that we have to remember the time that we are in, right? We live in a cancel culture. People will block you, just walk off from you and stop talking, ghost you, exercise the rudest behavior possible simply because you said the wrong thing or you didn't say what they wanted to hear. And that's a trauma response, right?
It is.
It's a trauma response. And I think that although we are responsible for our own healing and our own process, I also think that we have to be compassionate with one another. I think that you have to exercise grace over these circumstances. You have to be patient online, in life, wherever it is that you meet somebody else. You know that that person comes with a history that you don't understand. You may not be able to comprehend.
Sure.
You know, have no reference point for. There is no context. And so I think that if we can be a bit more patient with one another and exercise more grace and allow us to just like sit in that and get to know people, you get to a point where that person's like humanity and the truth of who they are begins to show up. And from that point, you can make a decision. But all this garbage in the beginning is just that. It's the residue from years of toxicity.
That was a whole word right there.
That's beautiful.
No, it really was. I say it all the time that we don't, as adults, communicate effectively. We don't, but we don't allow ourselves to be open. You know, we don't allow, quite honestly, and I know that I've in some instances not allowed myself to be vulnerable enough because of that fear of being hurt. You know, I've been hesitant to either share or to be completely honest in that moment or at that time. But, you know, we are adults. We like, come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Let's get it. Let's do it. You know, we are shaping what is to come.
Yes.
We are shaping what is to come. And if we're doing this is what's happening right now. We're in the midst of, like you said, cancel culture.
Yes.
Which listen, I don't have time for it. I don't understand. Like, I just don't understand. But in any event, in any event, I should say, what we're doing right now, what we're doing today and going forward, we have a journey, we have a mission of nurturing one another. We are nurturing these relationships, our relationships, the relationships that we have and the ones that we anticipate. That's platonic, familial, and romantic. That's where we are. That's where we are, right?
That's where we are. Absolutely.
Dr. Williams, she left off with, I mean, she talked about cancel culture, but she She mentioned family values and being compassionate, gracious, or grace, giving someone grace, and being patient, and helping to either helping or understanding somebody's humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you think about the context of in which we live in a society that is constantly challenging uh, our humanity as a people, just for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
We can't even recognize in both houses to respect a voting rights bill.
Right.
Not to even mention all of the, we talking cancel culture on the micro level, but the cancel culture of our culture is on the macro level. So our humanity is being impacted by that, such that the half of me who is together typically meets the half of you, and then we go and try to figure out what happened in our relationship when you guys tied back to the word authenticity. We're sort of have our representatives meeting and running the relationships oftentimes into the ground, and then we wonder what happened. So Dr. Williams mentioned that there's a need for the healing part, and if we don't recognize how much trauma we've been through as a culture, as a
Right.
family, individually, no matter how much access to these jobs, the opportunities, the travel, the clothes, you're just dressing up one problem to meet another problem. So
Sure.
the healing part is very critical, and I can tell you, as a person who is and has gone through the healing process, and I say it's ongoing. Healing is the loneliest time for you, minus the distractions, because you have to literally break yourself down to the lowest common denominator, oftentimes, to discover where these healing needs need to be addressed. And they often require you to go back to some difficult places, sometimes dark places and challenges, with a helping professional. This thing I'm doing, or I have done by myself. I have someone and have had someone to help guide me in this journey, because it's a very vulnerable place. And so you can only be around people in that state who are assisting and helping you to go through that journey.
I want to commend you on that. First for doing the work, and for talking about it, because I know a lot of our men, a lot of Black men, are not as open about their healing journeys. And quite honestly, a lot of our men are not as open to to starting a healing journey, and one where they are unapologetic. It's an authentic healing journey. Some will say, yeah, well, I need to heal and I'm going to do this, but they don't really do the work. So thank you for that. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No, not at all. I was just really thinking about healing, right? I think this conversation that we are having today, and the conversations that we have individually in our social groups and our families, can be the thing that is the impetus for self-exploration, also healing, right? And I think that you mentioned earlier, how good we are when we're together. And I think that we also don't realize how much we need each other for survival.
Yes.
And this whole thing about Black men and Black women going outside of the country, seeking peace, or sort of whatever that is, I think it's because we're not having enough of these kinds of honest, open conversations. Because think
Yeah.
about it. The participant said, half of you is coming to meet half of me, and we're getting together to try to figure it out. So imagine if your past history and your traumas are like a wound that you have on your arm, right? If it's not completely healed, when you get to a person next to you and you bump into it, it's going to cause an ouch. Oh, you bumped up against me, and my scab is not fully healed, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then we only continue to, in essence, like re-injure each other because we aren't doing the work, and then we don't have enough, as I was saying earlier, grace to say, you know what, I want you to stand next to me but not bump into me, because I'm over
Mm.
here trying to heal. But I want to do that in the context of standing next to you, because I want to tell you about what this is
Oh,
feeling
sorry.
like for me, and I want you to be able to talk to me about what it's feeling like to you, and maybe then our halves become wholes on either
Mm-hmm.
side, and we're two whole people contributing, to our life, to our relationship, to our family, to our community.
I love that. Oh my goodness.
So,
Let me tell y'all how I'm so happy and so glad that we are having this conversation. I'm so glad that this is the beginning of continuing conversations, because I anticipate that, um, now that we've made the introduction to talking about love and talking about being open to dating and talking about our healing journeys and things of that nature, that we will all become even more comfortable, and we will help each other along our healing journeys. Now, I know there's a lot of work that needs to be done individually. So family, don't you misunderstand me.
Yeah.
Don't you misunderheard me, as a friend of mine would say. Don't you misunderstand me, and believe me to say that we're looking for someone else to heal us, because that's not what I'm saying.
Right.
But I'm saying, what I'm saying is that we can all be there supporting one another as we're on our healing journeys. So I wanted to say that with clarity
Yes.
to make
Because there's
sure.
a whole conversation in there about being the container that holds a space for another person. But you got to be willing and believe that it's beneficial, even if it's not going to end up in wherever we want it to go, right?
Right.
As a Black woman to a Black man, I can be that emotional container sometimes for
Mm-hmm.
him to be able to experience the level of emotional safety and vulnerability that then allows us to have a different experience of one another. He
Mm-hmm.
might not be for me, I might not be for him, but I did not contribute to more harm, and neither did
Right.
he. And we can
Right.
keep on keeping on. I think we got to embrace the idea of do no harm. Like,
Mm.
That
please,
right there.
That's
yes,
Oh, that right
please.
there. That
I,
right
I
there.
agree, Carol. That's
Yes,
it.
that right there is it. It is
Listen, pass
it.
the plate,
Above
pass the plate.
all else, do no
You
harm.
got me preaching today.
Family, you hear what's happening right here. You hear there is synergy. There is synergy, and we are all in agreement with that. That's exactly where we need to be. That's exactly, and okay, and to that point, that's what we're working toward. All right. That's what we're working toward. I'm not even going to say that's where we need to be and leave it right there, because that's what we're working toward. Dr. Marquita already said, look, I'm here. She said, I'm here. We've already talked about Back to Love. We've already talked about her brand. We've already talked about it all. And that was just for you in case you missed it. Okay. Because we did talk about that
Talk
earlier in
about
the
it
show.
all.
Okay. We talked about it all. But we talked about it earlier in the show. And I want you to know that we're not leaving each other hanging. No, we're not. That's not what we're doing. It's 2024. What? We want better and we want more. And according to what I've been taught and have learned, when you know better, you do better.
Do better.
What?
Amen.
What? Family, listen. For those of you who have just joined us, I want to welcome you. Welcome, 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 welcome. You are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. I should share with you, because I know some of you are probably saying, well, wait a minute. I'm commenting and you're not responding. Well, that's because tonight's episode has been pre-recorded. And I forgot. I said, let me let them know. Let me let them know. I don't want you to be mad at me, okay? Don't be mad at me. But for those of you who are with me, actually, tonight, Thursday, February 8th, you know why. You know why I'm not on the air. But you know. I tell you every single time that I'm not here, that I miss you when I'm away from you, love and life family. But for those of you that I will see in person, y'all know, y'all better come and give me all the love that you have. You hear me? You better come and give it to me. But tonight, that's right. Tonight, we're talking with Dr. Marquita Williams, and we are joined with one of our participants from our upcoming event.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you once again, because I know it's Thursday and it'll be the last day of our Love and Life week. We have a singles event coming up for those ages 40 and up. It will take place on Tuesday, February 13th from 6 until 9 p.m. And it will be hosted by yours truly and Dr. Marquita Williams.
Yes.
We plan to have so much fun. You hear me? We have fun activities where you can meet new people, and we told you you can possibly make a new love connection. Okay. Listen, we are going to take a commercial break. I know the time goes by so quickly, but we're going to take a short commercial break. So stay with us, because I promise we're coming right back.
Did you know that because of membership support, Word is able to bring you special programming that impacts our community? Shows like Islam Today and Caribbean Connections, coverage of Philadelphia's mayoral election, and interviews with community leaders and newsmakers. All of this is possible through your membership support. If you're not already a member, consider joining the Forward movement, or even give the gift of membership to family and friends. Sign up or renew online at wordradio.com/membership to subscribe at the sustaining level of $90 annually or the digital level of $5 monthly. You can even give us a call at 215-425-7875. Press 4 for assistance. Stand with Word today.
And is this with the doctor or is this with the nurse practitioner? Fantastic. Dad, lunch. Got some soup for you.
You are loved.
Oh, you. Look at those freckles.
This was very much.
You are valued. You are strong. You are resilient. You got this.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
I'm Naheem Hines, professional football player for the Indianapolis Colts. Becoming a running back was no easy task for me, but it's nothing compared to what my amazing mom faces every day. My mom was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy when I was 14 years old, yet she's always there for me, every step of the way, despite her own battles. And the Muscular Dystrophy Association is there for my mom. At their 150 care centers across the U.S., MDA is the leading organization in research and care for kids and adults with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and related neuromuscular diseases. Their research is helping find cures and save lives. Watching my mom go through her daily struggles and the care she receives from MDA has made me determined to help find a cure for neuromuscular disease. That is why I support MDA, and that's why I'm so grateful to others who do too. Join me and learn more at helpmda.org today.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
This is your celebration.
Hey, this is David W. Brown, former general manager of WRD. I'm proud to say and Temple University. Want to wish WURD a happy 20th anniversary.
I'm Delilah Wilson-Scott with Comcast, and I want to wish Word a happy 20th anniversary. Thank you for celebrating 20 years of Black excellence, Black culture, Black legacy, and providing a forum so we can discuss the issues that we care about.
I'm Dylan Lewis from Word Radio, and I want to wish Word a happy 20th anniversary.
Hi, I'm Ken Anderson from the Chamber of Commerce for Greater Philadelphia, and I just want to wish WURD a happy 20th anniversary. Thank you for all that you do in this community. You are one of the anchors that make us who we are, and that is the best. So I'm wishing you happy 20th and many, many more.
We're celebrating 20 years of progressive Black talk media.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, progressive Black talk media.
I think I know what love is.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. We are back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. Today is Thursday, February 8th. I have to keep saying this. Because I cannot believe it, as I've shared earlier. I cannot believe February already. How about that? Family, for those of you who've just joined us, I want to make you aware that tonight's episode has been pre-recorded. I know. But guess what? We're still here. It's all love. We are joined tonight with Dr. Marquita Williams. And, okay, I know I keep saying, you know what? I need to allow for that time. Love. But we're joined. That's right. I know. And we are also joined with one of the participants from our upcoming event. So now I know we only have a few moments or minutes left in tonight's episode. So I was going to talk about something that we don't even need to talk about. I think we received a better suggestion, and it is to talk about the need for understanding the basics of dating today. I think that's excellent. Would you like to take that conversation? Would you like to take that conversation, participant?
I'll take a stab at it, but that's listen. We opened up and said and admitted that dating today is outright scary.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of misunderstanding. There's a lot of apprehension. There's a lot of
Sure.
fear. And rightfully so. So we almost really need to have these forms where we can begin to work our way back to love, Black love. I mean, I remember growing up, kid in this, I'll tell you how old I am, but I was in the 70s, and we had these sort of felt Black posters with the Black woman with the afro and the brother on these different posters, just loving one another, that my family had up.
We did too.
So, there was when you put those pictures up, and then I won't forget the ceramic zodiac signs that we would paint. So we would have these cultural pieces in our home, and that art conveyed something, if nothing else. I mean, it conveyed pride. It conveyed that we're going to have relationships, and that's what I got from them. And that, of course, whether you think about the zodiac signs, I think that was their attempt to help us figure out who we match with. So we would always ask people, what's your sign? Because the Cancer is emotional and this and that. But we need to figure out how to get back to what dating is. And I would think that it would have something to do around self-discovery and self-healing as we move to better understand the difference between dating and vetting someone. And sometimes I think we get those two mixed up. Vetting is something you you should do to determine if you should date further. And so vetting asks a lot of questions. You know, did you grow up in a 2-parent household? You know, did you have any traumatic exposure in life? If so, how did you deal with that? Are you on mood stabilizers? I mean, you can.
Yeah,
I mean,
listen, that's valid. That's valid. It is. That is
and people
valid.
may not want to answer them, but in not answering them, or if someone said to say, I don't want to deal with that. Well, that's your answer. And if that is something that you know you don't understand or could take into account to understand, you know, what are red flags for me. And so these are some basic things we have to get back to, because, you know, as a man, no one really talked to me about figuring out who I should date. I got that a lot from the media. So, you know, sometimes it tend to be, you know, long hair, light skin, or tall. It was all this external stuff. But tonight we talked a lot about internal stuff. I know Dr. Williams did. I mean, you can't go to the store and purchase grace.
No, you cannot.
You cannot purchase compassion, and you cannot get a box of humanity. These are all things someone has to teach you. So they would find their ways, their paths into what it is we would develop around selecting a mate. But again, we can't even begin selecting a mate until we understand the need for our own self-discovery and healing.
How about that?
Go into the areas of understanding, dating, and vetting.
I can't thank you enough for that. And oh my goodness. So Dr. Marquita, I don't want to rush you, but we have about 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
What will you leave us?
I will say that, you know, our participant has been outstanding. And the things that he just said, I wholeheartedly agree on. I think that we as a community really, really want our love. We want Black love. We exalt the Ruby Dees and the Ozzie Davises and the Barack and Michelles. And so, you know, we want to get to that place. And he's 100% correct. It starts with going back to the basics of kindness, compassion, you know, communication, generosity, and grace. And, you know, I've created a relationship readiness assessment. So we're going to get to that at some point, but it's asking yourself all of those essential questions. And then asking those questions of the person that you're interested in. Start the process early.
You know, I like that, because that's where I was headed about, you know, being ready. I love that. Oh my goodness. OMG. Okay. So once again, family, I just want to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to Dr. Marquita. Thank you to our participant. Thank you so much. So much. Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. And I'm hoping that we can have this conversation or an extension of this conversation again.
Yes.
You know, we'll have something to add to it. How about that?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it would be a beautiful thing, and it's so needed in our community to have an ongoing dialogue around, you know, healing, love, and relationships.
Well, that's a done deal. Say less.
love.
Okay, say less. So thank you to the two of you. I'm going to say some closing sentiments to our family members, but I thank you so much. And
Thank
just
you.
thank you. And I cannot wait for you all to join us
February
again. So
13th.
see you next time. See you next time. February 13th, family. You hear me yelling it like you can't hear me. February 13th from 6 until 9 p.m. Okay. Come join us. We can't wait to see y'all. You hear me? We can't wait. We can't wait. Dr. Marquita, I will see you then.
Yes, you will.
Yes, I will. Family. OMG. Just praise God. Praise God, from whom all blessings flow. You hear me? As we wrap tonight's episode, I just want to express the utmost gratitude to you, family, to Dr. Marquita, to our participant that stopped on by. That was such a blessing. And I so appreciate the conversation that we had. I hope you do too. I really do. I hope you do too. You know, I tell you, I can't stand it when I can't be here in person, but I said, I'm going to make sure that, you know, we pre-record so that we have something to share with you tonight. Happy birthday to all of our love bugs that are celebrating. I want to reiterate our Black History minute from today, I want to share with you about Frederick Douglass. I want you to know that he was the most photographed American in the 1800s. And it was strategic that he kept a straight face in his photos because he wanted to challenge the idea that Black people were ever happy to be enslaved, right? Put that in your pocket. Put that in your pocket. Also, the 4 colors that are used for Black History Month are black, red, yellow, and green. Black represents resilience. Red denotes blood. Yellow is optimism and justice. And green symbolizes rich greenery. How about that? How about that? Family, remember, we're all in this together. So be good to you, but be good to those around you. Thank you to the entire Word family. God loves you, but so do I. Have a great rest of your night. Have a great weekend. How about that? I'll see you all over the weekend at our shows. And join me Monday through Thursday, 7 till 9 p.m. Eastern Time for another edition of Love and Life right here on WURD. I'll see you on the 13th as well. All right. All right. All right. Thank you, family.
Did you know that because of membership support, Word is able to bring you special programming that impacts our community? Shows like Islam Today and Caribbean Connections, coverage of Philadelphia's mayoral election, and interviews with community leaders and newsmakers. All of this is possible through your membership support. If you're not already a member, consider joining the Forward movement, or even give the gift of membership to family and friends. Sign up or renew online at wordradio.com/membership to subscribe at the sustaining level of $90 annually or the digital level of $5 monthly. You can even give us a call at 215-425-7875. Press 4 for assistance. Stand with Word today.
I'll be here to hear what's on your mind. Take this time to talk and get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side. By your side. And every day is a different day. Everything is in everything. Even when you think things could never ever be the same. Don't be scared of the world, I'll be here to stay. By your side. Even when your heart ain't listening, or your mind takes you a different way, towards a different path. All you gotta do is sit and ask. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
When the adults in a child's life talk early and often about the dangers of underage drinking, the message gets stronger every time.
I'll be by your side.
Talk. They hear you.
When I cross the finish line, it's not just me. I succeed because of others. When I was pregnant, I survived because of others. At 32 weeks, I was diagnosed with preeclampsia and had an emergency C-section. Because my doctor took quick action and my husband was there to help me, I'm alive. Too many women die of pregnancy-related complications, and most are preventable. If you or someone you know is pregnant or recently had a baby, learn the warning signs. It could help save her life. Hear her.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score. So I'm pre-approved. You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
This is your celebration.
Hey, this is David W. Brown, former general manager of WRD. I'm proud to say, and Temple University want to wish WRD a happy 20th anniversary.
I'm Delilah Wilson-Scott with Comcast, and I want to wish Word a happy 20th anniversary. Thank you for celebrating 20 years of Black excellence, Black culture, Black legacy, and providing a forum so we can discuss the issues that we care about.
I'm Dylan Lewis from Word Radio, and I want to wish Word a happy 20th anniversary.
Hi, I'm Ken Anderson from the Chamber of Commerce for Greater Philadelphia, and I just want to wish WURD a happy 20th anniversary. Thank you for all that you do in this community. You are one of the anchors that make us who we are, and that is the best. So I'm wishing you happy 20th and many, many more.
We're celebrating 20 years of progressive Black talk.